Hello everyone, and welcome to how to magnetize your MoYu 13x13. This is actually my first time doing this on a puzzle that's not stickerless. Basically the first step we're looking for is we're going to, I can show the idea first. So this is the plan I have going right now. I'm not sure how well that's showing up. But basically, I'm looking at these pieces here, so don't look at that top part right here. So this is the corner cap piece right here. I didn't draw the corner in, but you show that in the tutorial as I do it. These are the pieces as you go inward. So this is the center edge, this is the piece next to the center edge, and these top pieces are the caps for each of the pieces below them. So I have these two magnets connecting, these two connecting, like that and that, that. So the reason they're on the same side is because corner cap will be flipped and put back on, so they'll be on opposite sides, so they won't be, all attracting each other or whatever, except for the piece next to it. These little circles here in the middle of pieces, like in the caps here and right here, are just the pieces of the plastic on the pieces that you can't put magnets like right in the center on the bottom or anything like that. So the first thing I'm going to do, it might be different for you because it depends on how they sticker it, but I'm going to start with the top yellow side, unless I change my mind. What you're really looking for is, I'm not sure if I can catch it on camera, I think you can see that there, is that you're going to want to find a cap on the corner. There we go. Cap on one of the corner pieces. So there's a cap. This would be a side. There's only one cap per corner. This would be a side that doesn't have a cap. So we're going to go start with the yellow-orange. I'm going to find that cap, and so I'm going to make the yellow-orange my template edge. The center edge also happens to have a cap on this side, right here. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. And so, basically we're going to take out, you can loosen this side if you want, but I think you can get the edges out just fine. We're going to take out, there we go. So that's set. And let me put that center piece back in. And we're also going to take out the other side. Okay. So there we have that. I'm just going to rest this on something so it's a little bit inclined. I have my ruler here, so I think that'll work. Okay, so basically what I've done is I did this off camera. I put a piece of Scotch tape over this yellow thing so the yellow center pieces wouldn't fall down and I could have it just sitting flat. And I have these orange-yellow ones that were on the left, so orange-yellow edges that were on the right. I have them just separated. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set those aside. And I'm going to, basically this step is we're going to take out the caps. I want to do the corner one first because it's the most difficult, and I also want to do the center edge one. I want to take that out. So your center edge could be on the right or left, it doesn't really matter. But we're going to take it out with the help of this box cutter. I think the best way, the only way you can really do is right on the outside of this edge here. It's not that easy. Oh, okay, that came out pretty easy, but it's not always that easy the first time you do it. This takes a bit of work. Yeah, if you get right between the edges, that's perfect. Okay, now once we have those two caps, these are what they're going to look like, by the way. So this one kind of looks like a piece of toast. This one looks like just like a diamond. We're going to push the cube back out of the way, and I'm just going to set them to the right now. And we're going to deal with these left pieces. So I'm going to separate them like outside and left. It's just how they look on the cube. And we'll do it like this, just so, whatever. So I'll do the inner one first. It doesn't really matter the orders, because I can get them all out the same way that we did. Okay, so that was pretty easy. I'm going to set them up so that, here, I'll put this corner one to the left, just like I had it on the diagram. My diagram does not necessarily set in stone. I could have made it another way, but I feel like it's the least complicated way that I could think of, because you kind of have to have a, my way of thinking, I guess, you kind of have to have a magnet on the top of the corner edge, so that, because you're going to have three magnets and you want them to be somewhat far apart from each other, because you don't want those attracting. And that means, you know, the edge next to it's going to be, there's going to be a magnet on the top of the edge. But the rest of them, they can basically go whatever they want. Where did that piece go? There it is. Alright, so one more. This one's already partially open anyway. Okay, so there we have our pieces, all with the caps off. I leave, of course, that centerpiece in there because it'd be a hassle to take out. We don't really need to take it out. So, and we're going to start the piece with the little circle right here in the bottom on the corner cap. That goes on the bottom, so it goes in like that. So the magnet is going to go up here, as high as it can possibly go, because that's the the cap goes lower than the whole corner extends. So you want to start with the cap, and the rest are going to kind of follow exactly where that magnet's going to go. So it's not going to go like the highest possible position or the farthest in like this piece or over here. You'll see what I mean later on. Alright, so we're going to get the glue. I gotta clean off whatever I have on here. And at the top of this piece here, on the inside, we're going to put a bit of glue right there. And I'm going to take a 6x1, any which way. I'm going to stick that on there like that, right at the top. Alright, what we're going to do next is, I'm going to take this cube here, I'm going to put the corner cap back in. I have no other magnets to worry about in there, so we're fine. I also took out the top four outer center pieces out, except for this corner one. So now that's annoying to fit back in. You still could, but I prefer not to. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this back in without its cap. Okay. And now we're going to get another 6x1 here, and let's make sure we have it the right direction. Okay, that's the way I'm holding it right now. Let's actually, we can put it like that, and then should end up something like that. So it's not quite on the top. It's not quite on the top of that edge, which is I mean, that's what you want because you don't know where it's going to end up, which is why we did the top of the corner cap first. Okay, so what I've done so far is I know I had this piece in here, and that was just to get this aligned with the corner center cap, but I had to take it back out because the easiest way to make sure that the next magnet goes in the right way, which is a 6x2 by the way, is to take this edge piece out and then get your next center cap for the next piece, which is the piece, it's going to have a number 5 on it, if you can see that. It's upside down, number 5. And we're going to take this piece here, we're going to place the 6x2 on the other side of it just to make sure we know what the right direction is. And so when it attracts like that, if you were to flip it over like this, it would want to repel. So, meaning we want the side that's attracted to this side to be glued. And so we're going to set the side to be glued facing up, and I'm going to put some glue on the bottom left of this piece right here with upside down number 5 on it, on the bottom, I say that, bottom left, so right here. Make sure it goes on the right side, like I said. So it's going to look just like that. Okay, so I had an idea actually. This one's dry by now, but it doesn't have to be. I took apart the right side corners, and I'm going to take the number 5 piece, you know, the outer edge. I'm going to place this in here. It's only temporary though. So I'm going to put that in there. And so this next piece that this should go beside right here, which is number 4 on the inside. I'm going to, let's see how I'm going to do this. I placed it on the left side, so it's going to be on the right side, like about right here. So I'm going to place glue just about on that bottom right side. Just going to do some there. Okay. And then we're going to get another 6x2. I'm going to place it beside just like this, and then just let the magnet drop. And I'll clean that glue up a little bit while I'm at it, as best I can. I can't really do it. And we're just going to leave that. I figured this way would be a little faster. Put it up there. Okay, so what we're going to do is take another 6x2 magnet. I'm going to take this piece we've already done, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one as we did with that edge over here. If it attracts this way, that means it's going to repel this way if we don't flip it. But you can always check by putting something thin in front that repels this way. So let's just check that again. Alright, so it's going to repel if I flip it like this. So I'm going to put the repelling side on top. I want to repel because you wouldn't want the cap magnet and this magnet really attracting, because it's supposed to be kind of unrelated. We're going to take the the cap that says 4, and I actually was going to put it on the bottom left, but I think the top left will be best because sorry, the top right, because when I flip it, it's going to be up here as far away as possible from that magnet. So the less attractive power there, the better, I think. So I'm going to place, I did glue it there by accident. I'm going to put it up here instead. Side facing up here is going to go like that. I'm going to put that to the side because we don't need that anymore. We're going to place 4 in the other 4. So this one's 4, this one's 4. This one's from the right side of the edge. I'm going to put that in. Okay, now we're going to take the number 3 edge from the left here. So I place that on top right, meaning it's going to be on the top left this time, so I'm going to glue the top left side over here. And I'm going to get another magnet, 6x2 magnet. First we're going to align these two pieces the way we want to end up, and then drop the magnet in like that. And then again we're going to leave that to the side. And we're going to repeat this process for this next one. This next one has an upside down 3. And we're going to do, I might just go bottom right again. I might just go bottom right, top left, bottom right, something like that. Okay, so I was correct in what I thought. We are going to go bottom left again. So when I flip this bottom left, it's going to go on the bottom right on this one. So first of all, I got to check the direction of the magnet. 6x2, it's kind of tricky. Get it off. And see if that's true. Okay, so that side attracts. That means we're going to flip it like that. So the side facing up on the table, excuse me, the way I have it, so I'll put it in the frame. That magnet side facing up is going to be the glue side. So we're going to glue the bottom left of this one that says 3 here. Okay, and just like that. Then we're going to use this backwards number 3 here on the right part of the edge. I'm going to put the cap on like that. I'm going to get my number 2 edge here. That's on the left side. Since I put this on the bottom left, it's going to be the bottom right, so we're going to glue the bottom right side here. Okay. Going to get another 6x2. Just drop that down anywhere. I'm going to have them like this, lined, and then we're going to drop the magnet in like that. And then we're going to leave it as usual to the side. Alright, so our next one would be number 2 cap and the number 1 whole edge. So this one's also going to be the top left, so it's going to alternate top left, bottom right, or whatever you think of it. So see, did I have a top right this time? Okay, I think we glue the top right. The other one will end on the top left, so yeah. Before we do the glue, I'm going to make sure that we have it the right direction. So, stick my ruler here. Okay, so that side's attracting, meaning we want it on the other side. So we're going to lay it the side we want the glue on, facing up on the table. I'm going to glue the top right on cap number 2. Okay. So just like that. Then we're going to put in the number 2 edge here on the right. And then we're going to put number 1 edge on the left, right next to it, and we're going to glue it, that number 1 edge on the top left, approximately where the other magnet's going to be, which is about there. It's not going to quite be in the corner like the other one is. Take another magnet, 6x2 magnet, and hold it where you want it. Drop it in like that, so it's going to look something like that. Then we're going to place it to the side. And then we have one more to do. Okay, so this one's going to be a little tricky. We're going to have this to deal with instead of a whole edge. It could be either way. I happen to have this, but you could have this solid side here facing the other way. Whatever you get, whatever you get. Probably go over other ways, but in the future. But you're going to do the same thing as before with this one. I'm going to make sure I have the right direction going here. So take the ruler, the ruler over the piece we just did, place the magnet over, so the repelling side's going to face up, like that. Then we're going to glue this bottom left side here, like that. Place the repelling side on the glue on the bottom left, like that. And then we're going to place it in this right edge with the number 1 on it, so they both have number 1. Place it in the cap. In this part, you're going to have to do relatively fast because we have to place the magnet on here pretty fast. So I'm going to get my magnet ready. I'm going to place glue approximately where it's going to go. So on the right side, kind of like right here. Sorry, the side of the frame, so right there about. I'm going to place it kind of like this, kind of like about like that. And then we're going to place this in the edge. I'm going to put the cap back in the edge. So the cap's back in the edge, and then we're going to insert just like that. And then we're going to let it dry. So after we've left these 5 to dry for a little bit, we're going to pull them apart. And we're also going to take all the caps we inserted, for instance this one and this one. We're going to take those off. So get your box cutter or whatever you're going to use to take these off, and I find it actually easiest to, there's a little slit, or maybe I made that little slit, I don't know before, but it's should be a little easier way than wherever else you might stick it. So that's what it ended up looking like. It's a little messy. I'm going to sort them, so that's 2. And this should be 2. Anything that doesn't have a magnet was on the was the right part of the edge. So that's number 2 here. It's number 1. And I'll probably just skip ahead until I have everything, all the caps out and organized. Oh, and by the way, if you had to glue the center cap on the middle one, you're gonna have to take that center cap out, because we're gonna have to glue the inside of the piece, and we can't do that without taking the cap off. Now, I believe in this next part, so I have them separated, all these I've magnetized, all these on the right here, besides this one I have not. Traditionally, or the simpler way, I could do all these 5 caps, or all these 5 non-cap pieces. I would have to do them separately, not at the same time. However, I thought, that's going to slow me down by double, so another way to do it was kind of replicate the same way I did, but I'm going to have to move the Scotch tape off these edges here. Okay. And now I'm going to take these yellow-green edges out. Okay, once we have those yellow-green edges out, the cube's going to look something like this. And I have the ones I took out of the right side on the right, and the ones I took out of the left side on the left. And we're going to have to take out at least one of the sides, one of the, I suppose I'll take out the left side, it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm going to take out the left side caps, and I'll be back right after I finish doing that. Okay, so I have my edges organized from, this has got a 5 on it, so those 1 through 5, so this is the outer edge for the green yellow, and these are going to be the ones that are being magnetized. These go from 1 through 5 this way, so these are the ones on the right that go here. And I'm going to start with this outer one here that has a upside down number 5 in the middle right there. And first, we're not going to put the glue in first. We're going to, since this does take a little bit of effort to put in, I'm going to insert this piece in. Okay, that was I don't know why that was so difficult for me. And now this piece is kind of out of whack. Okay. So we have that open like that, and let me just tilt this a bit so I can see. I did mess up my pieces back here, but we can fix those. I'm talking about the pieces on the table, not in the cube. I'm going to put some glue approximately where the magnet is going to go, and take a 6x1 magnet, so one of these things, and I'm going to drop it like that. Should look something like that. It's kind of dark. Okay. We're going to set that to the back. I'm going to reorganize this. I got it all messed up. Okay. And our next thing, I believe, stick this cap loosely on there. I believe I'm going to focus on this cap next, the cap that goes on this edge. The point of taking these green yellows out is we're going to use this to go on this instead of using this one, because, magnet's going at the same time, so it's going to be a bit tricky, right? If there's a loose magnet, even if you use this one, it can flip over to this side before it's dry, and we don't want that happening. So I'm going to find the edge. Something like this is going to go next to, and that's the number 4 edge. That's already glued, so that would be this one here. And since, excuse me, this is going to be like this, and I have the right here in the bottom right. This is going to go in the bottom left here. Put on the glue with it by itself, because we know exactly where it's going. The exact bottom left. Okay, and now we're going to take a 6x2 magnet here. I'm going to let it drop like that. And make sure it's on the bottom like that. And I'm going to take it off. That was just to make sure it's sitting the right direction. We're going to set it in here, like that. And then we're going to let it sit somewhere back here, I guess. Then we're going to move on to the next one. So the next piece is, I think that's a number 4 edge, so I need a number 4 cap. So I think it's a number 4 cap right here. And we're going to find, let's see, number 4 cap goes next to the number 3 edge right here, so it's going to be sitting like this, and it's going to be inside this one right here. This green yellow edge is going to be like drawing like that, with that cap inside the green yellow. So I'm going to do the same exact thing, glue on the top right. So the bottom left, and now it's top right. We get another 6x2. We're going to set it up like this again, just about where it's going to go, and then we're going to drop the magnet like that. I'm going to make sure it's on the top right. We'll take it off the very top right of the piece, because these caps determine where these pieces go. And we're going to find this number 4 piece here. Actually, I'm just going to let that sit. See how well that does. I think we need these, so I'm going to set those aside. I know I'm kind of changing my mind here as I go, but this is experimental for me. So I'm going to find this one, number 2, and the number 3 cap that we haven't done. And this one's going to go on the bottom left again. So I'm going to glue the very bottom left. Okay. I'm going to lay it on top of this again, and I'm going to get to 6x2. Hold it like so. Drop it in. And you can take it off, you know which direction it's going to go, so I'm going to have it in the very bottom left like that. I'm going to let it dry over here. Oop, not like that. Okay. So I have 1, I have 2, I have 3. Here comes number 4. I'm going to need the number 1 edge here that we've already done, and the number 2 cap, which we have not done yet. This one's going to be on the top right, like that. And so we're going to put some glue there. Sorry if I'm out of frame. That's a lot of glue I just put there. Okay, we're going to set that down. Take a 6x2 and let it drop in. Take this off, that edge back. Okay, it's going to be looking something like that. Set that aside. And we get the last cap here. Now this one is going to go next to this one. Now if you had an edge on this side when you're doing the orange yellow instead of this side, you would have to, let's see, you would have to, you're going to be gluing the same side. You're going to be gluing the bottom left here. Bottom left here. This is how both sides are going to look. I don't know why that got so white there. I guess without air it turns very white. So either you have this cap or you have the whole edge here. Obviously you're not going to take the whole edge out, so it's going to look, it would rather look something like this. However, we don't need it to sit next to the edge the whole time as we've seen with the other ones. So I'm going to stick the glue, let's see, bottom left. Okay. Gonna get another 6x2. I'm gonna turn this, have it look something like that if you have a cap. And let it drop. Okay. I'm gonna take this away. Just lay that to the side. Now you have something that looks like this that's gonna sit to dry just off to the side. And now we can use, we can take this one out since I didn't need to even use those edges. I just needed it for the magnet to face the right direction. So we have all these green yellow edges we can still use. Alright, so I have that set to the side. Those are going to be set to dry. Okay, now I've done one of these edges so far, which is this one. Now I need to do the rest of these 4 here. And I might as well start off with number 4 since I started with number 5. Okay, so I figured out what I wanted to do. This is the number 4 edge, so this edge is the equivalent of this edge here, which goes next to this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these the way they're going to end up, which is like this here. And then since I know that, okay, I had the magnet on the bottom left of this cap, that means this one's going to be on the bottom right. So I'm going to glue the bottom right here. Just the general area, not the very bottom right, because you know how it ends up. It's a little bit up north of that, I guess. So just about there, we're going to glue. And we're going to set this piece just right inside that one. Going to get a 6x2 and drop it in. And just looks something like that, and we're just going to set it aside. You know, we can set it aside just right here. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with number 3. Number 3 is going to go next to number 4. And this one's at the top right, so that means I'm going to glue the top left of that one. So we're just going to put these pieces, cap inside this. I'm going to glue the top left of this number 3 piece here, just around here. Okay, and set it inside like that. 6x2. And and drop it in like that. So that one should look something like that. I'm going to set it down. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with this next one. So since this is the number 2 piece, I'm going to take these 2 pieces here. This is at the bottom left, so we're going to be gluing the bottom right of this one. Like that. Glue the bottom right. Just upwards of the bottom right. Set the piece inside like this. Get a 6x2 magnet. I'm going to hold it like this so it's aligned. I'm going to drop it in like that. We're going to let that sit. Make sure that's aligned. Okay. I'm going to do this with the number 1 piece. This is at the top right here, so I'm going to glue the top left side of this next piece here, which has a number 1. It's just somewhere around there. Okay, we're going to set that on top like that. Get a 6x2. Make sure these are aligned, and then drop it in like that. Looks like it was a little off with the glue. Okay, we're going to let that sit. Okay, so last is the centerpiece. So we're going to have this number 1 edge from what we've already done. This is at the bottom left, so we're going to be gluing the bottom right of the center edge. And since I've already glued this side, I'm going to be gluing the right side. So this is going to be placed inside like this. So the orange is going to be facing out just like this piece here. And it's going to be just like this one. So if you happen to have the edge already glued in here and you have the cap will be on this side, and you're not going to put that inside first. Basically you're going to, kind of like what I first started with, I'm going to have this edge here and I'm going to glue this first and put the magnet in, and then I'm going to take this, connect it back into the middle edge, and then put this in afterward. But since we have it like this, where we already did the cap, we're going to be gluing inside the edge. So we're going to be doing it the same as this one. It's going to be at the bottom right here. So I know we don't have a lot of light here, so I'm going to have to move the camera a bit. Okay, maybe a little more so you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. So I'm going to be gluing just about here. Must be running out of glue or something. Oop. That's a lot of glue. I'm going to clean that up. Just kind of made a mess. Okay. And then I'm going to drop in 6x2. Just drop it in like that. And we should be good. So that's how it's going to look. If you can see that magnet there. Okay, so now that I've let everything dry, I'm going to put them back where I had them. Alright, so once I've sorted these over here, I got the caps and the pieces that I just magnetized. I'm going to undo these caps here, and I'm also going to take off these caps that I have left of the green and yellow. I actually didn't need to take out the green and yellow previously. I could have been taking it out right now, but I thought I was going to do it a different way, but I just didn't. So, and I'm also going to take out the cap off this corner right here, since I happen to have, here, I'll show you, I happen to have the cap sitting right here, like I did with the orange yellow here. And I also have the cap in the same place this time on the left side. I'm going to take that cap out as well. Alright, so we're basically going to do the same thing that we did last time, which is first I'm going to start with this corner piece here. That came from this corner piece here. And I'm going to first need to find out what direction it's going to go in. And by doing that, I'm going to use one of these edge pieces here, an outer edge piece. And I'm going to first I'm going to put some glue. Actually, let's get the magnet first. Okay, so got the magnet. I'm going to put some glue at the top of this piece here, the very top. Alright, I'm going to place it like this. So this is where it's going to face on the cube. I'm going to let the magnet fall, and I guess that's the direction it's going to take. So then we're going to have it at the very top of the piece like that, and we're just going to let it dry somewhere out of the way. Like there, for instance. Alright, and our next piece is we're going to do all these caps. Let me back this up so you can see. We're going to do all these caps right here first, like we did last time. I need to move this forward, sorry, so I can make it easier for myself to work. This one is this piece with the upside down 5 is the equivalent of this piece here. The cap for this outer edge here. So it's going to go against the next edge, which is this one. And it looks like this one's on the bottom right, so we're going to place it on the bottom left. So I'm going to put some glue on the bottom left of this piece. Like that. I'm going to get another magnet. And I dropped it. Okay. Alright, so we know the direction. So we can put that piece away. Just going to let it dry by itself like that. And we're going to leave that to dry over here too. Make sure I don't get confused on what I've done so far. And we're gonna go down the whole line like that. I might speed this part up, but I might cut it out completely. I haven't decided yet. I might just let it roll. Alright, so number 3 here, upside down. This is on the top left, so flipped over. Where's my piece? This is my next piece. The piece with the, do I have that right? Yeah, number 4 is more outside. So we're going to glue the top right here. Alright, I'm going to drop the piece like that. Take it off. Put this back. Basically, we're matching this one here. So these two look the same. And then we're going to let that one dry over here. Now we got cap number 3. We're going to find the number 2 edge over here that we've done. Number 2. This one's on the bottom right, so on the cap it's going to be the bottom left. So put some glue in the bottom left. your next magnet. I only have two, I have to pry them. Okay. Put them like that. Let it drop. Take them off. And I'm going to set that to dry over here. Move this over a little bit. Alright, so our next one is number 2 edge. We also have the number 1 edge we've already done. This one's on the top left, so this one's going to be on the top right again. So I'm going to put some glue on the top right first. Like that. Get the two pieces like this. I got my last magnet here. I got more in the bag. And I'm going to let that dry over here like that. And so these remain the same. I just did the 5 caps for these 5 edges. Oh, except for this one, number 1. Number 1 is going to attach to this one here. Glue. This one's on the bottom right, mostly. So this one's going to be in the bottom left. I'm going to glue the bottom left. I need... Where are my magnets? We're going to put the two pieces like this. I'm going to let the magnet drop like that, and just so we know the direction. And then we're going to let this dry right over here. I'm going to set this piece back down. And then we have our next cap is the middle cap. Okay, so now that I've thought about it, there is a very simple way to do this middle cap that doesn't involve putting it back in here. That is the safer way though, but I'm going to, basically what I'm going to do is match it with this piece here. And we're going to set these up like this. I want them exactly aligned, just like that. And then we're just going to set this somewhere safe where it's not going to get touched. Say like back here. Okay, so our next cap is this one here. Let me show you. I have these 5 left here. We're going to be doing the same thing. So I'm going to find, this is number 1 here. And maybe I should have done this one first, because now I'm going to have to touch this one. That's fine. Yes, I definitely should have done this first. So I'm going to flip this over. This one I'm going to flip it over like this. Bottom left side. Like that. I'm going to get a magnet here. Very strong magnets. I'm going to lay this down like this. Just like that, and drop the magnet. And I know the right direction, so now I can leave those alone. I'm going to put this over here. We're going to move these down so I have space to place some more of them. So that should definitely be done first before you do the middle ones. Because I did disturb these two. Okay. So now I'm going to leave them alone. The next one is the cap that says number 2. I'm going to find which edge is number 1. I'm going to glue the top right here. Basically it's the same process. You can even use the same edges over here all the way back to the for the rest of the caps. So I could probably just skip this part here. I got it like that. I'm going to take this off, let it dry, put this one back, and I got 3 of them left. Obviously I'm going to be using this edge, and this edge for those 3 caps here, and we'll come back when those are done. Okay, so now we're going to do all these edges here without the caps, and I actually didn't need to take these apart, but it's, but it actually doesn't matter. I'm just going to put them right back. It's going to give me a reference of where to put the magnet, so it's fine. I actually want to start, first, since we're going to do 2 edges like this, I think a better idea would be to put this corner one, we did this one, I'm going to put this in, yes, I'm going to put this in there like that, and we're going to use this one to place in that one, and we're going to use this last one to place in here in the back. So we're going to do this one first, so I'm going to put this in. Hopefully it will go in easy enough. They usually don't. Okay, we got that. I'm going to push these over so you can see. Alright, so we got that, and we're going to glue the top of it, kind of like right there. Just put a little bit of glue there. Then we're going to get a 6x1. I'm going to let it fall in just like that. If you can see that, just barely can see it. Alright, and then we're going to let that sit over there. Okay. And now we're going to work our way down. So we're going to start with this one here. And 4 connects with 3, so we're going to use, wait, hold on a second. No, I'm incorrect on that. 4 is going to connect with this 5 here, so first I'm going to make sure I know what I'm doing. So this is on the bottom left here, so it's going to be in the bottom right when I flip it. And so I'm going to put this glue on the bottom right. Make sure I have the, there we go. Okay, so bottom right, gonna get a 6x2. Come on. Alright, we're gonna hold the pieces like this, and we're gonna let the magnet fall right there. Alright, and then we're gonna set that aside. Okay, now we're going to do, oh, excuse me, we're going to do this one. So this is number 3, and this is the number 4 one, so 3 goes next to 4. The magnet's going to go on the top left since this is on the top right, and we're going to flip it over. So I'm going to put the cap back in this one where it belongs. And I said top left, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to glue the top left right there. Get another 6x2. Line it. Then I'm going to let it fall right above where it needs to go. Okay, it's going to look like that. We're going to set it down. And we're going to work our way down, just like that. This is number 3 right here. And we're going to stick the magnet on this number 2 edge here. So I'm going to stick some glue on the bottom right again. I believe so anyway. Okay, like that. Grab a magnet, 6x2 magnet, line them, let it drop, set it aside. Okay, next one. This one's going to go on the top left. Put the cap back in. Going to put some glue on the top left. This is number 1 here. Get a 6x2 magnet. Place them together like that. Align it. The magnet drop in. Okay, and then we're going to let it sit there. Alright, so the next one is going to be this one. So this one's a bit trickier because, alright, what we're going to have to do is find the number 1 right here. I'm going to put this, let's see how I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to put this together like this. So I'm going to bring this closer. I'm going to place this in. This is the one with the magnets in it. Okay, that was easy enough. Now the magnet's going to go like right here, just like where this other one is. So it's going to go on the bottom right-ish. It's going to be a little bit higher. So I'm going to place some glue. It's kind of hard to see, like with the reflection, but the bottom's here. So we're going to place glue about here. Okay, then we're going to take a 6x2 magnet and let it drop in like that. And so that one should be all set. Our next one is this one. This is the number 1. It's going to go together with 2. Yes. Oh, this is number 1 here. Hold on. We have number 1, we have number 2, we have 3, we have 4, and we have 5. So this one's going to go next to this one here. So this is number 2, this one we've magnetized. We have the magnet on the cap on the top right, so we're going to glue the top left of this number 1 here. Let's make sure that's right. Yep, top left. So it should look like this one. Gonna put some glue in that top left area. Get a 6x2. Going to align them like this. The magnet drop. That. And we're going to let it sit there. Our next is number 2, and then we have, this is still number 1. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that one. I guess that one's just staying there. This is number 3. Excuse me. So number 3 is on the bottom left, which means we're going to glue the bottom right. We're going to put that cap in there like that. Glue the bottom right-ish area. 6x2 magnet. Where do I have the, here it is. Okay, we're going to let the magnet drop on the glue, like that. Going to let it rest, dry, whatever. Next one, this one's on the top right, so we're going to glue the top left. Cap back on. I'm going to glue the top left area. There we go. Let's sit on top of that one. Get a 6x2 magnet. Yep. And line them. Let it drop. Right, the glue's going to hold it there, as is the magnet. Okay, so we have number 4 edge here, and we're going to use this number 5 edge here that's already magnetized. This is on the bottom left, so we're going to glue the bottom right. And you can always look to reference for the second one if you're worried you got it wrong. It's going to look like this one. And we're done. I'll write it down like I have in my notes. It's not enough glue for whatever reason. There, it's better. Must be running out. Okay, 6x2. Hold them so they're aligned. The magnet drop in. Make sure they're aligned still. Okay, let them sit there. I'm going to kind of arrange them like that. That one's not part of it. Okay. Now we have this number 5, and we're going to put that, let's bring the cube back. Okay, so this corner cap right here already has a magnet in it, so we're going to place it next to that one. Alright, so super easy way to do that, but I got that in. Make sure it's in line with the corner, which it should be because it's in the cube. I'm going to glue that just like I did the other corner. I'm going to glue that top part. Make sure I have glue coming out. It's hard to see. Alright, and I'm going to get a 6x1 magnet. Just one. Okay. And I'm going to, just like that, let it sit there. Okay, and we're going to let that also dry. And so we have everything we want to glue. Glued. I'm going to click this cap back on the glue so the glue doesn't dry up. I remembered I also have to glue the other parts of, not just the corners, not the corner caps, but the inside of the corners. I'll handle this yellow, orange, green corner probably tomorrow. Alright, now that I let everything dry, so I got the caps here, I got all the rest of the edge pieces here, the middle piece here. What I'm going to do, I also got this piece and this and this. Now I'm going to separate everything, and basically we're going to put the green yellow back, and before I do anything I'm going to put the next magnet in the corner piece. Green yellow. Okay, so all the green yellows are on the top. Alright. Yellow there. Green yellow there. 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 And then I have this middle piece here. Okay. And what else do we have left? I think this is these are number 2 pieces. Number 1 piece has to come out. So I'm going to take this piece out here. ones. That one. I take out this one. This one belongs here. There. And I remember putting all these caps. I'm going to put all these pieces together, all the green yellow. So this one is number 4, belongs to this one, is number 4. I'm going to put all these back. Alright, so now that we have all this together, I'm going to, should I think about this? I think I want to just put this half back together, because eventually I'm going to want to do this corner here on the other side, not the bottom side, we'll do that later, but the yellow red side here. Show you up close. This yellow red side on the inside, I'm going to want to magnetize that later on, so I'm going to need this open because the cap is on this yellow green side. And right now we're going to magnetize the inside of this corner on the yellow green side. Well, that's the next thing we're going to do. And before we can do that, we're going to put back in these pieces here. So these will hopefully just stick together if you did it right. Very nice. And we're going to slip them right in, hopefully without knocking too much out. I really should loosen this cube so I can get this in easier, but I don't want to mess with the tensions, even though I'm going to have to fix them later on. So I really should loosen the tensions. Alright, I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to loosen the tensions. Okay, I did a 360-degree turn to loosen it, so let's see, it goes in a bit easier. Okay, got it. Okay, our next step is going to be taking out the orange-yellow corner piece again. I'm just gonna, yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's out. Now we have this open space to work with. I'm going to stick glue kind of right there, where the magnet's going to be on top here. So I want to kind of sneak it in the corner all the way up there. It's going to be tricky, but we're not going to really see what we're doing. But I'm going to try my best to see what I can do. So let's do it. Grab our glue. That's kind of all dried up from the top. Clean that up. First we're going to get a 6x1 just so we have it handy. So the first one's going to be easy. The second one is going to be tricky because we're going to have another magnet in there in the second one, and yeah, it's just going to be tricky. But we're not doing that second one right now. So I'm going to kind of put the glue in the corner like that. Did I get any? I got a little more. Let's see if I got that. Kinda. I know it's hard to get it to see what I did. Alright, so I'm going to drop my 6x1 in like that. Okay, so what I've done is I put in these so far, as you know, and I kept these green yellow ones, these 4, out just for now. I'm just gonna put these together and put them aside, say just over here, just so they're out of the way, and I'm gonna still keep these template pieces over here. And I'm also going to start the yellow red. Okay, I did. I'm just going to tape it over that corner because I know that can be a problem. We're going to... I did loosen it up, so this should come out a bit... hold on. Can't forget to tape this top layer here. So... I'm running out of tape here. That should be enough. Okay. Right to the end. Yikes. Alright. So just like that. Now we're going to take out these edge pieces. Hopefully they come out a little bit easier. Okay, they did. Alright. So a little red centerpiece came out. Let's fix that right now. Okay. Gotta do the other ones too. Alright. Okay, so I've organized all these pieces here just like I did before. I have one more piece to collect. I would have two, but there is no corner cap here that I have on this side. Neither is there on this side, so I'm not going to have to worry about a corner right now. I will have to worry about a center edge cap, which happens to be on the right side this time. So I'm going to dig that out. Alright, so I dug that piece out. Here it is. Now we're going to just repeat the process that we did before with the yellow-green. Instead we're doing the yellow-red. And we're going to take all these caps off, including these 5 yellow-orange that I had to put back on in order to magnetize. So we're going to take off 15 caps total. Okay, the number I actually meant was 19, but it would have been 20 if not for me not using this piece before, and also the centerpiece I already took out, which was 21, but it ended up being just 20. So took out 20 caps. So here's everything all taken out. These are all the pieces we're going to do magnetize. This is our whole template we can use. And before we get started, since the edge pieces require a corner cap to use, and the cap really has to be inserted into a corner piece, so we have to use a corner piece, and I only have one available right now. So I'm going to put the cap back in here. I'm going to use just this one. I could use both of these, like this green-yellow one, but I just want to keep the green-yellow where it is for now, because by the time I'm going to start with this one, by the time I get to this one, this will probably be dry enough anyway. So I'm going to start with the caps first. I'm going to take the cap from 5, so this edge here, and we're going to use this here to determine the direction of the magnet, and going to let it dry up here. And after we do all those caps, we're going to start with all these edges here. So this one has a number 4. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to have to put these caps back on, and then I'm going to be using the 5 from here, putting it like this, and have the magnet be on the bottom right, I believe. So that part is just like last time. So everything's just like last time. Okay, once all the red yellow edges are done drying anyway, we're going to put them back together. So I'm going to get started on that. Alright, I've done the left 5 and I've done the right 4. I gotta get one last one out of here, so don't forget about this one. And the cap for that is here. And now we will have 5. And we also have to remember to put the middle one back on, so we're going to spin this around. I'm going to take this one out. It should come out easy enough. Okay. And it goes on the right side. Just have this close up so you can see. Alright. My next step, well, actually before I do that, we're going to just take out the caps of these 5 here. I'll put these just back here somewhere. The reason I did it all last time, I thought I needed them all, but turns out I didn't, because you only need them open for doing the next piece's caps. All the other, the insides of the edges need the caps to be on these pieces. So we only need 5. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to have to do this side of this corner right here, magnetize. I already have the cap. The cap happens to be on the green-yellow side. I've already have that magnetized. So I'm going to take this one out. I really could have taken this one out earlier, but just didn't realize what I was going to do in the future. So that was really just poor planning, or poor planning, I guess you could say. But it doesn't amount to anything too bad. Okay, so I'll put that to the side. Let's see. This is still only our second magnet we're adding to this corner, so it will still be pretty easy. Now we're just going to add in, we're going to put this whole edge in. I think I'll do, I think if we just add in both, that'll be fine. Okay, the first thing we're going to do this green-yellow inside here is make sure these two pieces are aligned, so you want them something like that. And then we're going to kind of get the inside of this piece right here. So, hold on, oh, sorry, not this piece. Sorry, I'm getting these two. So we're going to make sure these two are aligned, and we're going to first move that out of the way. Then we're going to get kind of back here, some glue right there, and then make sure I didn't make a mess. I'm going to get a 6x1 and drop it in like that, and you should see something, hopefully. Some of that shining part is glue that I kind of just recklessly dropped in there. Okay, something I probably should have done before I put glue in here was take out these yellow blue pieces. So first I'm going to move this tape a bit. And we're going to get a fresh piece. Alright. Now we're going to take these pieces out here. Okay, make sure that yellow-green is fine. Looks good to me. so we're going to worry about, we don't have, let's see, we don't have a cap here, meaning this cap is on the blue-orange, but we do happen to have a cap on this side. The cap on the center happens to be on the right this time. So we're going to take those two caps out first. Okay, and put that right in the middle. And we're going to leave that back here. And then we're going to do the same thing as usual. We're going to take all these caps out like this and set it up to be glued. Okay, I actually made another mistake. When I took out this corner cap here that belongs right here, I just realized that the magnets from the yellow-red are probably going to attract the magnet when I glue it on, and then I stick an edge, this outer edge next to it when I try to, get it in the right direction. So I'm going to have to take out a couple of these if I can. I don't know if I can. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to take out that outer one. And then we're going to find our corner cap. Where am I going to put it? It's right here. I'll actually use this edge here, and I'll place it here while it's drying. Corner cap here. I'll take off the edge just to... Where's my box cutter? The edge cap. Just so there's no confusion as to what I'm doing or which magnet it's going to attract to. So it's going to be attracting to this magnet, so I'm going to flip it over like that. And where the hell did I put it? Here it is. I'm going to stick some glue right at the top of that. Come on, glue. Okay, we're going to get a 6x1. That. Alright, I'm going to hold it like this. I'm going to drop the magnet on, and we want the magnets, we know we want the magnet right at the top like that. So that's just to get the direction of the magnet like we always do with the caps. I'm going to place the cap inside like that, and then I'm going to stick this edge right in next to it. Okay, and then we're just going to make sure that these two are aligned right here, so that looks pretty good. Alright, now we continue with the regular process, which is just doing all these here. Okay, the yellow-blue edges have dried, so these are all of them here. These are all the caps. And I'm also going to take out these three edges right here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a magnet in this corner on the yellow-red side. If I remember correctly, we have two in here. We have two in here. We need to put two in here now. I can't do this one yet because the cap is on the blue and orange side. So I'm going to, before I do anything, I'm going to take these green yellow I've kept aside, and we're going to just stick them in, since we don't really need them out anymore, just as far as I can tell. Okay. Now I'm going to take out the cap. Okay. I messed up some of the... Okay. Now we're going to insert this yellow red edge. I'm going to put the cap back on. The cap is over here. Okay, I'm going to insert that back in. Okay. Make sure it's pretty straight. I mean, flush with the yellow red piece like that. And I'm going to insert glue right on the end on that top left side. I'm going to get a 6x1 ready, so I'm just going to lay that on the table there. Get my glue going. Aim it up right in there. Just get a little bit more just in case. Oh, that's a lot more. Okay. Now I'm going to slip it in. Should fall in the right spot. I'm going to leave this cap off for now. I'm going to, let's see, but not those ones. Yes, those ones. Put these ones back. There we go. Make sure those are still lined. We've done all the 4 on the top. Now I'm going to flip this over. I'm probably going to start with the orange since I started with the orange to begin with. I think I'll start, doesn't really matter at this point. I'll do the orange green. So actually before I go and do that, I'm going to get a piece of tape here. I could probably put these orange ones back at this point. Alright, so I'm going to get my piece of tape now, and you only need to go across the centers. I made it a little longer, but it's not necessary. Since we're doing the orange green, I'm not going to lay it over that orange green edge. I'm going to do it like that. Then I'm going to turn it over like this. I might want to relay that tape. I don't think I got enough of the edge. I'm going to loosen this orange up a bit before I go and take these out. I did a full 360-degree turn, I believe, on the yellow side, so I'm going to do the same thing on the orange. And I'm going to need the longer screwdriver because that one does not quite fit in. Okay, 1/4, 180. Alright, let's set that aside up here. Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. I need tape on these edges too. Alright. Okay, now we're going to take the edges out. Now it's kind of sliding a bit. Okay. And I want to make sure that that didn't move too much. Magnet's still there. Alright, now we're going to do these on the right. Okay. I'm going to take out this, let's see, box cutter, this center cap, the center edge cap, I mean. Okay. And a different thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this cap here, the one that we've already done two with. So we've done the one on the cap here, we've done, show you, we've done this one back here. You can see that, hopefully you can see that. Yep, we've done that one back there. And we need to put one on this left side right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have to use an edge I have. Let's use this blue-yellow outer edge here that I didn't insert back in this lower section here. And what I'm going to do is just put it in right here. Okay, we got it in, not very easily. You might want to take one of these center pieces out before you do it. Okay, now that I got that one in, this one I know is magnetized, so we're going to align them nicely like that, and then we're going to turn it around. And we don't want this magnet to attract to the one we already have in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to place my finger in front of on the right side of the magnet so that hopefully it doesn't attract to that part. I'm going to try to make it glue there. Okay. And I'm going to get a 6x1 here. And I'm going to, it's going to be hard to do on camera, but I'm going to stick my pointer finger and kind of just going to slide it in like that. Make sure it's got glue on it. So all I was doing was moving it around, making sure that it was wanting to go back to that same spot. So that's not just glued where the glue is and stuck somewhere where it shouldn't be. So now that we have that done, we could let it rest for a while, but I'm going to start doing all the magnets that aren't the outer edges. Like this one's an outer edge that I'm going to do, this green-orange. To get these magnets in the correct spots, we have to put these in here like that, or well, I don't want to start that yet, so I'm going to do those last. We're going to do everything like we normally do with the edges. I'm not sure if I forgot to put this one in or not. It's got to belong somewhere. Oh, you know what? That might have belonged to the yeah, that belongs to the. Let me just put that in right now, because I forgot to do that. Okay. Alright. And now we're going to let this be. So we're going to take all these caps here. We're going to take out the caps here and here. Oh, sorry, not these ones. These ones, these ones are gonna leave the caps in. So it's just these 5, and then these 10 that we have here. Okay, so once I have all the caps out, it's gonna look something like this. This is a familiar sight. I'm just gonna magnetize all these using a lot of this and some of this too. And we'll be back with the next edge. So the orange-green, I think I have that right. Yeah, the orange-greens have dried. Now it's time to take out all the pieces I have in here. We're going to put that here. Take this one out. That was for the corner. Take this one out here. And this one here. Yeah, I should have had that angled like that. Okay. Okay, I've put all the caps on for the green orange edges here. Now before I put, I decided I'm just going to put the left half of the green edges in, but before I do that, you gotta remember to put in this center edge cap, so I'm gonna put that in right now. Alright, now we're gonna grab all these center edges that go to the left. Hopefully get them in. Okay, so it turns out that I knocked off a piece of sticker because the tape stuck onto that sticker. As you can see, there's just a sticker on there. I'm just going to take that off. And I'm going to have to put the sticker back on with glue, I guess, but I'm just going to do that sometime later. Set it to the side. We're going to deal with the white-orange first, so I'm going to take some of that out. By some, I mean all the edges. Oh, you know what? I'm forgetting again that I have to tape this. Okay. Alright, now we can take them out. Okay, and these orange green, I'm just going to put to the side here, like I have my blue yellow over there to the side. And next we're going to check what side. Looks like the left side has the cap, and also I have a corner cap here I can take out. None on the right side. So we're going to take those out. Okay. And this one here. Go. Okay, so I've taken out the blue-orange edges. I've done the white-orange. I've got one white-orange outer edge drying right now, so I'm going to leave that be for now. And I'm going to just leave these white-orange edges out. I'll probably just put them over to the left, or the right, I mean, over here. And I happen to have, where's my box cutter? Here it is. I happen to have two corner caps here that I can take out, and the center edge cap is on the right this time, so let's take that out first. Okay. Okay. And good. Alright, so we got those out. And the reason I left these open is because I'm going to have these corner caps drying, magnets on them in here. So I'm not going to be able to use new outer edges here, so I'll be able to use them maybe here, here, and think I have one more spot down here. Sorry, you can't see that. I still have this blue yellow that I can use. But other than that, we're going to proceed as usual. I'm going to take all these caps off. I'm going to do all this, the caps and the edges. Okay, so now that the orange blues magnets have dried, I'm probably going to move on to the blue side. So before I flip that over, I'm going to put away actually the well, I'll keep the orange yellows actually for now, since I got all this taped. I'll just keep this tape on, and I suppose I'll just stick the orange blues back, or I might leave them in. Yeah, I'll leave them in. I actually have 2 magnets here, 2 here, 2 here for the corners, and 3 here because this one's finished. So I'm just going to put back the orange whites and the orange greens for now, and then we'll take out, we'll only have 2 edges to go, which is the blue white and the blue red. So I'll either do blue white or blue red first, doesn't matter, and then I'll come back. Alright, I've taken out the blue whites. I magnetized the blue oranges. And before I do the blue whites, I'm going to finish off this blue orange corner by putting a magnet on the inside of the blue yellow. We're also going to finish off the blue orange white corner by putting a magnet on the blue white on the inside right here. And we're going to put our second magnet on the blue red white by on the blue white side. So I already set these edges up. These are magnetized to set up those magnets. Okay, so I magnetized all the blue edges. I kept the blue red out just because I'm moving to the red side now. You can see I have 3 sides taped. I don't have this side taped because, you know, we started with the yellow side, so this is all magnetized. It's not coming out. However, I did take out the red-white edges and the red-green edges. I figured I'd do them at the same time. I also took out half of this green-white edge we haven't done yet, just so I could get at this corner cap here, because we still have to do this whole corner. I haven't put any magnets in it. And another thing I'm going to do, you can tell I have these 2 blue-red edges set up here and here. The reason I do this because I'm going to put another magnet in this corner, and I also have to take these green-yellow edges out so I can get at this cap. I've got to put a magnet in the last magnet on the green-red side for this corner. And is this the last magnet too? Yep, I'm going to put the 3rd magnet in for this blue-red-white corner. And then we're going to, I think I'm going to do the red and white and red and green at the same time. I still have, once these corner magnets dry, I can take these edges out, and can also use these that I kept out for the red-green. And just for clarification, if you didn't get it before, this is how the inside of the corner is going to look. So I'm going to zoom up on that. You see I have the magnet up there on the top, the bottom magnet there on the right. That white stuff in the middle is just from the glue. Kind of makes a mess, but yep. Magnet there, and then one on the cap. So this is what it looks like when I did 2 edges in a row. I've got the red-white pieces here, and I've got the green-red pieces here. Sorry, green-red is this row, red-white is this row. These 2 are not being used. Here are the red-white caps here, 10 there, and then the green-red caps here. Next thing I'm going to do is put these together and put all these back, except for, of course, the orange-yellow, which is our template. Okay, our next step is, once we have everything magnetized, I actually have something over here drawing that middle piece there. Its cap and the center edge, that magnet is still drying, so I'm going to be careful of that right now. But the last step you should really wait till the magnet dries, but I'm going to do it now, is to take off all this tape very carefully. I found out what can happen, because the Scotch tape is a little bit too strong in this case, is that it can pull off the stickers, especially when you're inserting pieces back in. You can, like, see that middle one came off, and this edge one came back. I took off a bunch of the pieces that where it did lose its sticker, and I guess I'll have to glue them back on, but so maybe the tape idea isn't the best thing unless it's much more temporary. Yeah, I'm going to do this very carefully, and I know that one's going to come off, so there's nothing we can do about that. The best way of doing this, excuse me, the best way of doing this is kind of pulling downward and not pulling up, because that can more risk the sticker coming off with it. And of course doing it slow. Oh, that one's coming off. Okay. So I have like a total of, I don't know, 6, 7 that came off. I guess that's kind of bad, but I doubt the other's going to be that bad. Like this blue side, maybe 1, 2 that came off too, it looks like. But I'm going to continue doing that. And then let's put the stickers back on, probably with glue. And then we're going to see how this thing performs when I put all the pieces. Okay, so it seems like I only took off orange stickers. All the rest of the stickers are on the other side, so I'm going to take off this. This is going to be really easy. I have the sticky side over here. Put that down on the table. I'm going to put a tiny drop. See if I can get a tiny drop here. Like that. Very, very small. And sticky side down. Lay it like that, and then press it flat. As much in the center as possible you can make it. And that should definitely stay. And we're going to do that for 3 more, and I have 2 pieces in the cube, 3 pieces in the cube, here, here, and here, that I need to do in the cube, unfortunately, so we're just going to be really careful with those. And here's how the cube performs after it's finished. You can tell the magnets on the outside aren't as much. Second layer through all the middle layers, there's a distinct stopping point. All the way down. Okay, so something that might happen during a solve is that the cap, since I have it attracting to the piece next to it, which you have to do, and not attracting to its own piece that it connects to, something like this can happen, where the cap kind of attaches and it comes off the piece, and then when you turn it again, it'll come loose and maybe can go in the cube. If you want to avoid this, I guess you could have the caps attracting to their own pieces, but I didn't do that, so if you don't do that, then there's of course a way to fix it. Every time you run into the problem, what you gotta do is find the piece that's a problem. I'm going to detach the cap from the piece. I'm going to get a little glue here. Okay, I have a little glue, And what I prefer to do is put the glue a little bit here and a little bit here. And I'm going to have it out like this, and we're going to just slip the piece back in. And I think we'll just leave it like this so that it doesn't tract here. I'm just going to leave it there to dry like that. So if you enjoyed this video, this tutorial, how to magnetize your MoYu 13x13, leave a like. I mean, I'm sure there's always better ways. The good thing with a stickered puzzle like this is that there's so much open space. You can almost use any magnet you want, almost any place you want, except for the very middle bottom because of those plastic pieces in the way. But yeah, thanks for watching.